guys, and welcome back to The Tangent. My name is Hunter, and unfortunately, this week, my co-host Lewis is sick and is unable to record this episode. So instead of it being a normal episode, in this episode, I'm just going to be doing a theorizing episode on how they could potentially bring in Bruce Wayne / Batman and or other Bat family characters into the Arrowverse. Because they have referenced him several times in the shows. I'll go ahead and list off the four that I know of currently. I'm not counting the references of Bloodhaven as one, but I will count the Gotham reference, to the city of Gotham, not the show, but the city of Gotham on Supergirl. But in Arrow, where they talk about Bloodhaven all the time, I'm not really gonna do that. I think those are really more as Easter eggs. I think some of the other ones are more implying that he does exist. So, the first one is going to be the very first one that they did for Batman, which was in Arrow, actually. I believe Season 1, when he was going after the Dodger, and he went to see McKenna Hall. Or when he first goes to the SCPD, and McKenna Hall is there. So when he walks in and she says something about him, Oliver replies back, and wow, I was expecting a middle-aged guy in a batsuit. Now, I believe that was more of a throwaway reference because it doesn't really say that. I feel like it was in Arrow's first season, so they may not have expected Arrow to last as long as it has. So maybe more of a throwaway reference before they thought of doing a shared universe with Flash and everything. So I feel like it's more of a throwaway, but it is a reference. But I feel like it's more of the Easter egg, but I don't throw it in there. I don't throw it in there with the Bloodhaven references because it is a direct reference. So, moving on to the Legends of Tomorrow reference, when Rip Hunter has his lines, I'm going to do a very terrible Rip Hunter impression. Give me just a second. I've seen darker days. I've seen men of steel die and dark nights fall. That line there, it's a terrible impression, I'm sorry. It's pretty late, it's almost 12 o'clock in the morning. But it is a reference nonetheless to Superman and Batman dying. Or I guess Superman could have turned evil, I guess, if they say Men of Steel fall. Whoops. I get that line wrong all the time. Maybe Superman, it's about Superman dying because it's Men of Steel die and Dark Nights fall. I switch them around all the time. My apologies. But it's one of those things of maybe Superman died and Batman went evil. I don't know. But it's just a reference to the Dark Knight. And no other superhero is referenced as Dark Knight other than Batman. So it's just one of those things that it's pretty direct reference to Batman and Superman as well when he said Men of Steel. So pretty curious if they ever show us that or something like that. So moving on to Supergirl's references. There has been two, if I can remember them correctly, there's been two references to to Batman in Supergirl. One of the first ones was when one of the first few episodes, like first or second episode of season 2, was when they were at the bar and Kara was talking to Jimmy Olsen, and the other guy, I can't remember his name. I don't watch Supergirl. I couldn't get into it really. I watched the crossovers with Flash and everything, but I just can't get into the show by itself. But she was talking, and when she says, "My cousin worked with a vigilante once. Tons of gadgets, lots of demons." Or lots of gadgets, tons of demons, whichever way it's said. It's a pretty vague reference, but it's also pretty telling of Batman because Clark usually works with Batman a lot. And then one of the ones that irks me the most is that it's pretty much a confirmation almost. It's Jimmy and the other guy that she works with at the Cat newspaper or whatever. When Jimmy's talking about, I guess people are afraid of the Guardian or whatever, and he wanted to be more like, and he said, I want to be more like Clark's friend. And the guy he's talking to kind of takes his finger and kind of puts it up to his head like an ear on his head. And he goes, he puts the finger up against his ear. He's like, they're more like frenemies. So that to me kind of irks me because it's so close to being a confirmation. It's just that quick shot of him putting his finger like up to his head almost. I can't do it because it's not a video. I don't have my webcam recording me right now. But it's so close of having the finger going up to the head is so close, so much of a telltale sign of Batman and frenemies because him and Bruce, they butt heads, and if it's pretty early in Superman's career and pretty early in Batman's career, they're gonna butt heads for sure. Because Carr only said he worked with a vigilante once. Didn't say they were friends. He said that he worked with a vigilante once. So therefore, they still might have some rough spots to work out before they become, the kind of like the partners that they are. So those are the references to Batman in the Arrowverse as it is now. So going from those, and I guess I forgot about the Flash one because it's such an old one that it's not a spoken thing. It's just words that confirm Bruce Wayne. On Earth 1 anyway, or at least Wayne Corp on Earth 1 is the newspaper in the Time Vault on Flash, where it says Wayne Tech and Queen Industries merger successful. So it was the biggest reference and confirmation to Bruce Wayne existing, or at least Wayne Corp existing in that in the Flash and Arrow shows. So I don't know if they're ever going to go anywhere with that. But if they're going to do Batman, I would prefer him to show up on Earth 38. Because we know Gotham City exists on Earth 38 because of the reference in one of the episodes that a family says when there was, I think Supergirl or Superman is fighting somebody and some debris falls and we got to move back to Gotham. And I think they do reference the fact that there is somebody in Gotham. I don't remember the reference, so maybe it's a bigger reference than I'm thinking. I'll look it up later and see, but it might be a bigger reference. They might actually reference going back to Gotham, but then somebody saying, what about the other guy that's there, or the guy that's there? So, they might have confirmed him a little bit more that way. I just don't remember the line because I never saw that episode. It was just the clip itself of the reference, so I don't really know exactly. But moving on from there, one of the ways, if you're going to bring him on Earth 1, I would prefer him to show up on Earth 38, but if he's going to show up on Earth 1, the way I would want them to do it is I saw another YouTuber on here, or I'm not a YouTuber, I saw a YouTuber on here talking about how they could bring in Batman potentially, and I liked his way of doing it, which was having Oliver Queen or even Thea start up Queen Industries again. If Oliver is kicked out of being mayor or stops being mayor, I guess impeached. I think that the same word for getting rid of mayors and stuff, impeached. So they could have either Thea or him starting Queen Industries again, because I think it's still Palmer Tech, if I remember correctly. It's either Palmer Tech still or Smoke Industries still. I don't remember. They don't ever talk about it anymore. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called now. So they could do that, have Thea or Oliver start up Queen Industries again, and have Bruce Wayne show up in a meeting talking to Queen, Oliver Queen or Thea Queen, about working together as their companies working together, and as a business partnership, and that could work really, really well for them. It really could, because you don't have to show Batman. All you have to show is Bruce Wayne, and you don't have to spend the money on a Batsuit or the gadgets. So it's a really, really easy way if you want to bring him to life in the universe, but not have to go anywhere farther with him. You could do that. But I think one thing that would be really cool, and I'll give you my casting choice for my people that I would want to play Batman on TV, and I'll give those in a second. But what you could do is you could have him show up in a meeting, have him working or whatever, and then have it at night. Bruce Wayne gets attacked, and Oliver, as the Green Arrow, or his team, or his new team for season 6, or whenever they want to bring him in, his team at the time, or if it's just him by himself, have to save Bruce Wayne, but they show up to save Bruce Wayne, but Bruce Wayne has already beaten them and is fighting them off. And you see his martial arts skills at work, and that's when he comes clean to Oliver about being the Batman. That'd be really cool, because that's a cool dialogue between Oliver and Batman of, Oliver's talking or whatever, and he shows up trying to rescue Bruce Wayne, but Bruce Wayne's already fighting the guys. He's in the middle of fighting them, and you just see his Batman skills. Sorry, my ankle just popped. Sorry about that noise. We see him fighting the guys that are kidnapping him, kind of like Oliver did in season 1, and again in season 5 when he was kidnapped as mayor. Yeah. So you show that, and then have that conversation between the two of Oliver putting together that the rumors he's heard about a vigilante in Gotham are true, and Bruce Wayne confirming that it is true and that's him would be really cool, because you don't have to show a bat suit, you don't have to show the Batmobile, none of the gadgets. You just have to show the character of Bruce Wayne fighting and him admitting that he is Batman and Batman exists. So that is one thing you could definitely do. I don't want it to be one of the things that I don't want it to be one of those things where he isn't Batman yet, and he's like, well, now I have to become Batman, and accelerated my plan, because it's ripping off Oliver from season 1. When he talked about when he got kidnapped, the kidnapping accelerated his plan. So I wouldn't want them to do that again, because it's just recycling stuff from season 1. So I'd rather him already be Batman, but he's still a rumor. He's still just a myth, an urban legend, that the Batman is just an urban legend that everybody talks about. So he doesn't want to take it seriously. That's why nobody talks about it on the Arrow shows or whatever. Nobody talks about it. You can even bring up earlier in the season, if you want to have him show up mid-season, you can have somebody talk about earlier mid-season, one of the teammates, or just like a person on the street, or a criminal that he takes down, the Green Arrow takes down, can reference this. If it's a criminal, Oliver's beating him, he's got him hanging upside down or whatever, and he's like, do whatever you want, you're not as bad as the other guy in Gotham. It's such an easy way to reference it's an easy way to confirm Batman exists without saying his name, whatever, or have a teammate reference that they heard about a vigilante working out of Gotham. So you can definitely do that, and then you can have Bruce Wayne show up later on in the season, have him fighting, and then Oliver see him fighting and put the two together that that's who the vigilante of Gotham is, and they find out his name, Batman. So that would be really cool if they want to do just a temporary showing, not have to do a bat suit, not have to do the gadgets, Alfred, anything like that. You just have the character of Bruce Wayne confirming he is Batman, but we have him in the universe on Earth 1. So now moving on to my casting choices before I go into my preferred way of bringing him into the fold, or the Arrowverse, permanently or temporarily, like Superman, for instance. He was brought in to boost Supergirl's ratings. So if they want to do that for Supergirl again with Batman, or to eventually maybe give him his own show later on, which is kind of really hard and maybe impossible for the CW to pull off a Batman show, but because Gotham exists right now, the Gotham TV show exists, they can't really do a Batman show, but maybe they can use him as a character occasionally. So what they could do for actors that I would like to see play Batman, who I think could definitely pull off a Bruce Wayne and Batman potentially. So my top pick would be the guy that plays the guy that plays Booth on Bones. He looks like a great Bruce Wayne. He could pull off the bad cop basically. He could pull off the rage side of Batman, and he can also pull off the charming playboy arrogance of Bruce Wayne. I feel like he could play both sides really, really well. And then my pick that I think can do a great Bruce Wayne, may have a harder time convincing me as Batman, but I would like to see him try, is he's from White Collar. I can't think of his character's name in White Collar, but the con artist in White Collar. I would love to see the actor that plays him, Neil Caffrey. The actor that plays Neil Caffrey in White Collar, I think could do a great job. Definitely a great Bruce Wayne. He would have to do, but I think he could definitely maybe bulk up just a little bit. Batman doesn't need to be bulky. That's one of my only problems with Ben Affleck's Batman, is he's too bulky. He needs to be more lean. So I think that would look a lot better if he was more lean in the universe. But he could lean up a little bit more and work on just being a little more aggressive. But he can definitely pull off the Bruce Wayne side of things, the playboy Bruce Wayne. And I definitely think he could pull off the serious, actual mastermind, kind of psychopath Bruce Wayne. I definitely think he could do that really well. So those are my two main picks for Batman in the TV universe. I'm going to think for just a second if I can think of anybody else from TV shows that I've seen that could pull it off. I can't think of any right now. Let me know in the comments below who you think would make a great TV Batman. I don't care if he's a movie actor or a TV actor or an unknown. Or not really an unknown, I guess, but a really lesser known actor that you think could pull off Bruce Wayne and Batman. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Your pick on your top 2 or 3 picks on who could play Batman in the TV universe would be really good, really helpful, and open my eyes to more actors that could play this character, because he is such a coveted and hard character to tackle. So moving on to my preferred method of bringing Batman into the Arrowverse, and that is putting him on Earth 38, because we have all of the references to him on Earth 38, but we have the conflict of the reference to him on Earth 1. So maybe Earth 1 Bruce Wayne exists. He has to, because of the Time Vault. on Flash. So he has to exist, or at least Wayne Corp does. So what you can do is you can have that Bruce Wayne not become Batman. Different universes, different things happen. So on Earth 1, that Bruce Wayne never had his parents die. His parents were never murdered in an alley, so he never became Batman. It's one way to do it. If you don't want to bring him on Earth 1, meaning so he doesn't have to interact with Arrow and Flash on a regular occasion, because I think the cost would be way too much for them to do, you can have him be on Earth 38, and he only really has to interact on Supergirl if you ever want to bring him around on Supergirl. Unless you want to give him and Superman their own TV show, which would be really hard to do. Way too much money, I feel like, involved on making that a show. So, you bring him on Earth 38 because you have all of the references, the more solid references to him existing on Earth 38, with the Gotham City reference, and the two references, the reference from Kara and the reference from Jimmy Olsen, and I can't think of his name, I'm sorry, the guy that he's talking to. So, you do that, and I think you could bring him in so much easier, but here lies the problem. I would prefer them to bring him in this way, but for a more economical way to do it is the Earth 1 way. He shows up on Earth 1 temporarily. You never see a bat suit, nothing like that. Earth 1 way to go is the easiest way to go. But if you put him on Earth 38, he has to have the bat suit, the gadgets, Alfred, the manor, the cave. You have to have all of that if you're going to bring him in on Earth 38 as a vigilante. Because you've already said he's a vigilante, so he's already started being Batman. So you have to show that. You have to show the Batsuit. You have to show the gadgets, the cave. You have to show all these things because you've confirmed him now as an actual character. He's not just not a throwaway, but a one-off showing of the alter ego Bruce Wayne. You have to show it all. You have to give us all of it if you're going to do it the Earth 38 way. But you have him show up on Earth 38 because you have Kara talk about, you have Kara fighting a villain or something that Batman fought, like one of Batman's villains. You have her fighting him, and you have this character go into a big spiel about Batman kind of ruining, maybe his hopes at a second chance or something. Batman ruined that for him. And you have Kara going off to her cousin and talking to him about Batman. And then, Clark tells her to stay away. You can't really trust him. And then she doesn't listen to She doesn't listen to her cousin or Superman. She doesn't listen, and she goes and finds him. She goes to Gotham City and finds him. And then he's out in the middle of doing something, and he's like in the middle of interrogating a criminal or something. And she he's got him hanging off the side of a building upside down like that. One of those, not classic, but one of those things that Batman would do, hanging him off a building to terrify him. She comes in, takes the guy out of his hand, and puts him on a building safely. And Batman just goes ballistic on her. And he already knows who she is. He knows everything about her already because he's been keeping tabs on her because she's an alien. He has that mindset of, I can't trust you, because he's always like that. He always, he has a plan for everything, So he's already kind of planned on meeting her, what he can do to defeat her if he has to fight her. So it'd be the same with Superman, just kryptonite pretty much, I guess. I don't watch Supergirl. I don't know if they changed her weaknesses, but I'm pretty sure it's still kryptonite. So you can have them have that conversation of him in his batsuit. If you don't want to show off his gadgets yet, you don't have the budget to show off. You used all your money on the batsuit, so you don't have money to show off his gadgets. You have her confront him in Gotham City, and they argue, and they maybe fight a little bit, and then Batman vanishes, and even she can't find him. So, or you could even have them, instead of her going to Superman first, she has this initial confrontation with Batman, like a little bit of a fight and an argument, and then he vanishes, and she can't find him. Even she can't find him. And then she goes to Clark saying, how is he able to do this? How is he able to get around my senses and stuff? And, she's talking to Clark, and Clark's telling her to stay away. You can't really trust him. He's that good. He's dangerous. And so then you see Superman fly and talk to Bruce because they're kind of getting kind of like friends or whatever. And you have them come together and talk about, the Kara incident when she showed up to Gotham, and Batman's like really pissed that she showed up and ruined an interrogation on vital information on a supervillain or something that he's trying to take down. So you can do it that way, and you can have her come back again at the end of the episode, talk to Bruce, end up maybe helping Bruce out, and he still has that Like he's in one of those typical traps. Like he looks like he's gonna die. The criminals think he's gonna die, but he's obviously gonna get out. So she saves him. And he's just like, he has that like arrogance of like, I didn't need your help. Just like, I didn't need your help. I can do this on my own. I've been doing it for a while. And then you can give a year estimate. You can say how many years he's been Batman if you want to. If you want to reveal that at the time, you definitely can. And you could have her come to him with some evidence for a supervillain in her city, in National City. You can have her bring some evidence to him, and he have to track the villain down. And his only stipulation is he comes with her, because it links with his criminal that he's trying to track down or something. And so they end up having to work together, and you can show off Batman that way. You can show off the Batmobile and stuff like that then, if you have the budget or want to. You could definitely do it that way. I think it would be a really cool way to do him for like 2 or 3 episodes, and then take him off like they did Superman, because he's such an expensive character to do. He's such a touchy character because he's in the movie universe right now, and I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck wouldn't be happy with somebody else being Batman on TV, whether as he's being Batman on the movies. I don't know if he's probably not that arrogant about it. He's probably not that picky of like, I want to be the only Batman right now. No other Batman whatsoever, even though they did Lego Batman recently. Kind of a different thing. It's not live action. So he probably doesn't want 2 live action Batman right now. He probably wants to be the only Batman, potentially. Maybe he doesn't care. But that might be Warner Brothers' thing. And Batman is Warner Brothers and DC's baby. That is their money-making character. 100% their money-making character. So they have to be really careful on how they portray him so people don't start to hate him. They don't want to give a terrible portrayal of Batman on TV and have that affect his movie, his movie box office. The Batman movie might suffer. The Justice League movies might suffer. Anything else he's in might suffer because of that awful portrayal of him on TV. Portrays, it's not the same Batman, but people don't care. They don't care about that. They had a bad experience with Batman. They're going to be a little more iffy on him down the road, even if it's a different person portraying him. So you just have to be careful with how you do it, because he's such a hard character to crack and do right, that you're going to get a majority of people enjoying, and works for TV as well. So the most the most logical and easy way to confirm him is the Earth 1 method of him showing up to Queen Industries, or even just to Oliver Queen when he's mayor. He can come up to Oliver when he's mayor and just talk about, him wanting to work with Oliver on something. And it's just the Bruce Wayne facade, kind of the real Bruce Wayne talking to Oliver, because Bruce Wayne already knows that Oliver is the Green Arrow, so he's a little more... He still is fake Bruce Wayne persona, but he's also his more serious, actual Bruce Wayne persona at the same time. So, just to confirm that it is Bruce Wayne, you can definitely do that. And then you can have him fighting later on in the episode. Oliver goes to save him as the Green Arrow, and Bruce has already got it handled. He's already fighting the guys off. And you have them confirm that he's Batman through the dialogue between him and Green Arrow. And you can even have him going back to the cave, the Arrow Cave or whatever. If you wanted to do that, you definitely can. It's the easiest way to not have to show the Batsuit, any of the gadgets, any of the other Batman characters or items that you associate with Batman. But if you want to properly introduce him to the universe and make him a character you can use later on down the road, set him up on Earth 38, because it's the easiest way to do it. Not the easiest, it's the way you do it if you want to make him a usable character. If you don't want to do a one-off thing where you just show him so everybody shuts up about it, you confirm him, Bruce Wayne, Batman exists, we're not going to touch him again. He exists, just deal with it. He's out there doing something. We might reference him here and there on the shows, throw in some lines about what Batman's doing, have Oliver contact him with some evidence, have Bruce work some evidence for him, but we never see him again. Or he might show up as Bruce Wayne again on the show, but not in costume. It's the easiest way to do it on Earth 1. But if you go Earth 38, you have to fully commit to showing us the Batsuit, the Batmobile, the gadgets, the cave, Alfred, the manor. You have to fully commit to showing us that. And potentially a Robin, if he has a Robin, if he has Dick Grayson with him right now. You have to show us that. You have to fully commit to that on Earth 38, if you're going to go the Earth 38 route. Or you could do some other thing and throw him on some other Earth, which would really suck, because you've referenced him so much on Earth 38 that it would be a waste not to have him on Earth 38 or on Earth 1. He's been Talked about on Earth 1 as well with the Time Vault. Once again, he's been confirmed that way, basically. Or at least Wayne Industries has. So, or Wayne Corp. It's one of those things, you know. You can throw on a completely different Earth from everybody if you want to. A little more of a risk. A little more freedom, though, if you want to throw him on a different Earth. A little more freedom as to how he shows up and why he doesn't show up often. It's an easy way to say, to use him, be like, hey, we're only going to use him very rarely. So he's on a different Earth from everybody else, so we don't have to worry about referencing him constantly to keep up with the fact that he exists. So if they want to do it that way, they can definitely do it that way. You know, I guess the cheapest way would probably be to have Barry running to another Earth. Not getting Vibe, but running to another Earth. And one of those like flashing images that we saw that confirmed Supergirl and like the original 90s Flash TV show that was in like the images that were flying by as he was running to Earth 2, I think. You could have Batman in one of those images as he's going through, confirming him on one of the Earths. We just don't have to see it. If you don't want to show him, if you don't want to have a character play him and have him talk, you can just have him being a picture flying by of like a concept design Batsuit. And that's what Barry sees when he's run through, and he like comes back and he's talking about these different pictures he saw, and he references the picture of Batman. Like, I saw this one guy, it looks like a bat, and when I was going through, you know, you can talk about that and have it say it once, have a little bit of dialogue between him and Cisco and like some of the other characters on Flash, and then that's it. You cut it off and he's done. You don't have to talk about Batman again. You've confirmed he exists. He's on an Earth somewhere. We're just not going to go there for a while. You know, you can have that be one of the crossover events. You know, one of the crossovers is Barry remembers that and he goes to that Earth to find Batman, and then you can bring him in through a crossover. If you want to do a one-time crossover for the moment of Batman, do it that way. Be my guest. It would be a cool way to see him. I just want to see Batman done in the Arrowverse somehow, because we're getting Black Lightning, potentially Static Shock as well. The producers, I believe, of the Black Lightning said they want to do Static Shock if they can. So I definitely think we might get there eventually. And we've had Superman. We've had Superman on TV. We can have Batman. We can do it. Sorry, I hit my fist together. My bad. But we can definitely have Batman on the TV universe. It's just a matter of working it out with Warner Brothers and Fox. Because the biggest catalyst, or the biggest reason that we can't get a confirmed Batman completely confirmed, is the Gotham TV show. And I'm sorry, people that like Gotham, cancel that show and get rid of it. I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing with the origins of some of the characters, the Joker origin. I don't want to. If Jerome's gonna be Joker, I hate it already because you're giving Joker an origin story, and I don't want one. So get rid of the show. You're already starting Riddler right now, and Bruce is still a teenager. You're starting Riddler. He's gonna be super old by the time Batman gets started, and way later in his career when Riddler is still a threat. Riddler will be like 50, you know, and Batman's like 30. 40, he'll be 40, 50, whatever, when Bruce is like in his 30s being Batman and stuff like that. He's going to be really old. Penguin, that works, but a lot of the other characters you're kind of ruining. Mr. Freeze, you know, but granted, we never got a confirmed age for Mr. Freeze, so it's just a lot of things that they're going to screw up, that they're already screwing up, in my opinion, some of, with the Gotham show, that they just need to cancel it, get it out of the way so we can have him in the Arrowverse, and we don't have to talk about it whatsoever. We don't have to talk about the Gotham anymore. Cancel Gotham. Give us Batman on the Arrowverse. I think it might work out a bit better. I really think it would. So, and it's because it's keeping us. I didn't talk about any of the other Bat family characters, my bad. But Gotham is also keeping us from getting other Bat family characters. You know, granted, we're getting a Titans live action show, meaning we're going to have Nightwing and stuff. So Batman does exist. But if the Titans show doesn't take place in the Arrowverse, Batman's not confirmed. However, if Titans takes place in the Arrowverse on one of the Earths, you know, maybe they pull the heroes from the different Earths, kind of do like a Legends of Tomorrow thing, but with superheroes from different Earths. If you pull Nightwing from an Earth, whichever Earth Nightwing comes from, Batman exists on that Earth. I would be so mad, and so many other people would that are more hardcore comic book fans than I would be so pissed if they brought in Nightwing from another Earth, but Nightwing became Nightwing, but not because of Batman. He just happened to become Nightwing. Would make everybody so mad. So if the Titans show is in the Arrowverse, it confirms Batman on one of the Earths, whichever Earth Nightwing came from. He is confirmed. Batman is confirmed. But if Titans does not take place in the Arrowverse, then Batman's not been confirmed. So it's one of those things. Depending on how they want to do it, there's so many ways to bring him in. But going back to the other Batman characters, Bat family characters, because of Gotham, we can't get Catwoman showing up. You know, Oliver can't go after Catwoman stealing something from Star City. He can't do that. We can't get like the Nightwing. We can't get Nightwing. We can't get Red Hood. We can't get Tim Drake. We can't have Jim Gordon. We can't have, you know, all these other characters associated with Batman. We can't have because of Gotham. So cancel Gotham. Get rid of it. I'm sorry. I can't get into it. I watched season 1. I don't like it. It's just not my show. But it is cool. I do plan on seeing if when this series ends. Hopefully it'll end with him becoming Batman. Then it ends, and then we can have him in the Arrowverse. You know, hopefully they don't use that same version of Batman. Hopefully they're not gonna make Gotham the prequel to Batman and Arrow, because that would suck. But if they do, they do, and we can't do nothing about that. But hopefully when that show ends, or if they cancel Gotham, we can get Batman in the Arrowverse, because I guarantee the moment that we hear news of Gotham being canceled, everybody's gonna scream, put Batman in the Arrowverse now, because Gotham is canceled. The boundaries should be lifted. Let us have Batman in the Arrowverse. It would make it so much better. Or maybe make it worse. I don't know, depending if they do Batman justice or not. It just depends. But I think it is possible. So, I want to see it. They can definitely do it. They just have to do it whichever way they want to do it. There's multiple different ways. I really hope they do it eventually, because I would love to see Batman show up in the Arrowverse one way or another. So that wraps it up for me. That's all I got. It's pretty late, pretty tired, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my theory. Let me know in the comments below the actors you would want to see portray Batman, and give me your thoughts on how you would want them to introduce Batman or Bruce Wayne into the universe. How would you have them bring him into the universe in your own way, or which theory of mine you like? You know, I would really like to know in the comments below what you guys thought. Your actor choices, theories you liked, or your own theories of how they can bring him into the universe. Really helpful, guys. Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. You want to check out Twitter, tweet us, me and Lewis, on our Tangent Twitter account, linked on our channel and in the description. Go there, tweet us requests for future episodes. It just really helps us out, guys, if you tweet us to let us know, to get you guys involved with the show. It'd be a really big help, because we don't know what to talk about sometimes. We like to talk about superhero shows and stuff like that. So, but if you guys want to see another movie or other shows or other movies, let us know in the comments, or on you guys talk about, because we will definitely talk about it. We're not against any of that. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been Hunter with the Tangent, and well, until we speak again, have plenty of tangents, guys.